Peace. My name is G-Man of the Law. My artist name is P-Funk City G. Today, episode number 4. Excuse me. I'm going to be building on Get Up, Stand Up by Bob Marley. And the Rastafarian culture, because I think that song represents, the culture, at least from where I'm coming from, as a student of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the black man being God. Alright? I'm going to refer to my notes on this one. The first verse of the song is Bob Marley singing, "Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold, and half the story has never been told. So now you see the light. Stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight." Now that's the first verse. The thing I'm going to build on is powerful. This is poetry right here. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm going to build on is where he's talking about half the story has never been told. Alright? And we're going to go to Genesis. Right? Because that's what he's dealing with is in Genesis. Because the Bible is the white man's story. Right? So Genesis is the genesis of the white man's story. You can read Genesis and get an understanding of exactly what's going on and who are the people. Adam is, excuse me, Adam represents the white line, the white lineage, the white creation. Right? So I'm going to show you where Adam wasn't the first man. You'd have to look in Genesis 4, the 4th chapter. Read that whole chapter. And it's talking about when Cain and Abel was beefing. And I always get a reverse: Cain slain Abel or Abel slain Cain. But one of the brothers killed the next brother. And they were talking to God, right? And they wasn't talking to the heavens. They were talking to, a man. And he was talking about, he was talking, Cain, I think, let's say Cain killed Abel. Cain was talking to God about what happened. So he was honest. There wasn't no lying in the Bible up until Jacob, but we'll get to that on another video. But the thing is that there were people already on the earth when Cain and Abel were born, other than Adam and Eve. And this talks about in Genesis 4 that Cain was fearful of leaving and being banished from, let's say, what the Bible refers to as paradise. And he said, who's going to protect me from the bandits? So it's like, what bandits? If Adam and Eve and his family is the only ones that's on earth, where are the bandits that he needs protection from? The Bible only goes back 6,000 years. Europeans have only been on the planet Earth for 6,000 years. So that's why Bob Marley is talking about half the story has never been told. We've been here, and the original people of the planet Earth being black people, or the black man specifically, is that we go back trillions of years. Trillions. So the Caucasian never came into existence until Genesis, right? Genesis, and we'll have to break down we'll break it down at a later time about Hebrew and what in the beginning means. Because in Hebrew it means something completely different than what the Bible talks about in English, translated from Greek, right? So there's some things got lost in the translation, right? So half the story has never been told. So what Bob is talking about is the white man's story is the Bible. This is the story that we're talking about, and we need to get in tune with our story, right? All right. So now we're going to get back into Genesis around the 30th chapter. It talks about Jacob. Now Jacob is the father of white people, right? So he came up with a set of laws, but to make it real simple, white people came from germ splitting. Splitting the germ meaning they were grafted from the black seed. The black seed was grafted into the brown seed. The brown seed was grafted into the red seed. The red seed, or germ, seed or germ, interchangeably, the red germ was grafted into the yellow germ. Then the yellow germ turned into the white germ. And this is what the Bible is talking about in Genesis 30 when it's talking about Jacob splitting the speckled from the spotted. So that's where white people came from. This process took about 600 years, and they used priests, doctors, nurses, cremators, and they're still being used today. This was a form of eugenics, birth control. That's how they were brought up, through birth control and laws, and and religion, and controlling people's minds on how they see things to produce the end result that they wanted. And they were only given a specific amount of time, 6,000 years to rule. That's why I'm talking about, in Genesis, talking about, Adam given the permission to dominate. You know what I mean? The black man is the creator of the planet Earth, so we don't need to dominate. We don't need to dominate in anything. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the supreme being. So a supreme being don't have to show, do this shit. We in tune with everything, so we can just lay back and let our mind control our universe. Right? But we know that the Europeans came with that attitude of dominion, dominating. And they want us to be like them, and we have become like them. And we're fighting for Democrats. We hate the Republicans. The Republicans hate the Democrats. This is their history all throughout Europe. But I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm going to get into the next verse of, get up, stand up. Most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything, and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you will find yours on earth. And now you see the light. Stand up for the right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for the right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. So this is a powerful verse right here, because it's talking about who we were created for. And we think that great God's going to come from the sky and take everything away and make everybody feel high. And that's not how it works. God is already here on the earth. God was here talking to Adam, wasn't he? Talking to Cain. So he wasn't some mystery that was that you couldn't see and hear and feel and tell, touch and smell. No, you're talking to a man, which is God. And Peter Tosh, I believe it's Peter Tosh that sings the third verse. Now this is where they manifest God, who God is. We're sick and tired of the ism and schism game. Die and go to heaven in Jesus' name, Lord. We know when we understand. Almighty God is a living man. Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now we see the light. Bob go, what you going to do? Peter Tosh, we're going to stand up for our right. Now, these are some powerful words, but this is why I can respect the roster so much and treat them in reverence, because they see things how we see things. And this is a knowledge that the people who rule the world don't want us to understand. That mighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So people know what's going on worldwide. In America, it's hard and damn near impossible for this understanding to make itself manifest, because the powers that be. And that's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to come to, Master Fard came to America to teach Elijah Muhammad. Give us something to free the black man's mind. And out of that knowledge came some of the most powerful and most important people that ever lived. Malcolm X is not Malcolm X without the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Muhammad Ali is only Cassius Clay without Muhammad Ali. Without the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, excuse me. And the Father of Law got the teachings from the nation, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who we, in the 5%, we call the Father Allah. We call him Allah. Because up until a certain point, you would have to go to the mosque to get the lessons. It was the Father, Allah, who got the lessons and took them to the streets and started teaching the babies. And that's how I got the lessons. I wouldn't have access to the lessons because I was, when I was younger, I was a wild dude. So, like, any form of, like, organizations and all of that, I was, like, skeptical of. You know what I mean? I'm an alpha anyway, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have no, flunky giving me orders. That wasn't going to work for me. That's how the nation kind of set up. It was like, captain, lieutenant, and this and that, and, yo, you got to do this, you got to do that. Yo, that wasn't for me, but the thing was, because I lacked self-control, and the Father taught us, go to the nation for discipline if we need discipline, because that's like the nation is the most disciplined people on the earth. The Nation of Islam, the fruit of Islam, they're the most disciplined and the best security force in the world. You see what happened with Mike? When they got crazy and Mike couldn't trust nobody, he got the Nation of Islam to secure him, to be security for him. So anyway, I say that to say that there's a history of Islam in America that was specifically for the black man. Because in the Caribbean, it's easy to talk about God being man, You know what I mean? Yeah, you got, heavy set Christians and all of that. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, what did it take 6 years for a black man in America to learn? It will only take 6 months in the Caribbean. Because their brain ain't so contaminated. In America, our mind has been destroyed. It has been destroyed. Any elements of the things that will make us happy, love, peace, happiness, freedom, justice, and equality, a happy home, respect for one another, love for one another, what I want for my brother, I want for myself, that has been destroyed. And so we needed something to come. We need truth, because up until the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Europeans' knowledge reigned supreme. There was nobody who had more knowledge than them. My whole thing is kind of windy today. My whole thing is about to fall apart. But that's their knowledge reigned supreme. So they had the benefit of us being fools and dead mentally. So we had to become resurrected, because we were mentally dead. There was no life in us. And the only information we were able to achieve and get was imperial information. Right? Meaning the Europeans' information. So whatever we smell, think about, learn, is coming from a European standard. It's coming from their book. They write everything down. So everything is based on that. And if it's not based on that, it has no legs to stand on. And Master Fard came to America on July 4th, 1930, to teach the lost, found nation, which is black people in America. And he taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 3.5 years. So this was the first time that we were able to even have an inkling of truth, because everything that we had learned had come through our oppressor, the slave master. They controlled our mind, and we became a beast of burden. And they worked us so hard, we only lived a couple, 20, 30 years. 23 years. Right? So we didn't even have enough information, enough knowledge to even overcome what we were living in their plantations, their land that they took by force. And if anybody was even able to think about questioning them, they would stomp that will out of us. So we became a people that was looking to the future for salvation. When we get to heaven, God gonna make it all right. And so we got to go through hell on earth to go when we die. And if we good and we do certain things and certain rituals and live a certain way, we go to a heaven and we can live there forever. And that been up our people's minds. Excuse me, I said I was going to, refrain from that because, even my pops, he said, like it turns him off, like from the message. So, excuse me for that. But it has been destroying our mind so that they have no competition. Our competition, the only competition is, are we going to be Republican or Democrat? That's what we competing for. But we're not competing for leadership. We're not competing for overthrowing this thing. We're not competing for their children's position. We just want to be like them. But through the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, we know that there's a time limit on their rule. 6,000 years is up, and we can see it just by turning on the news. The world is collapsing, and yeah, they just had an election, and people hoping that things go back to 4 years ago, and I do too. But I know that even if it goes back to 4 years ago, we still gonna be in hell, black people. We still gonna be no threat to their rule, and the only threat that we have to them is knowing who we are and uniting. And it doesn't mean that we have to I'm JLP, I'm going to unite with PNP, or I'm Democrat, I'm going to unite with the Republicans or the Independents. No. It means I'm going to unite with myself, my family, my loved ones, and we're going to work together. We're going to put some seeds in the ground. We're going to grow some food. We're going to start mending each other's clothing and learning how to build a house and work with wood and things of that nature, because we know about the War of Armageddon, we know about World War III, but it's like Einstein said, he doesn't know what World War III is going to be fought with, but World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones. So meaning that we gonna go in a few years, within a few years, we gonna go back to the basics. And so if we don't know how to plant, sow, meaning sowing crops, taking care of crops, and things of this nature, we're gonna be dependent on somebody else to bring us food, and we have to bring our own food to the table. We're gonna have to grow our own food. The way the situation is now, if things got scarce in America, who gonna eat first? Who gonna eat first? The Europeans gonna eat first. The Caucasians, the people who come from the Caucasus Mountains, the cave people, the people that lived in caves, they're gonna eat first. You think they're gonna care about you? And they already showed you that even white women refuse to vote for a so-called black woman. And we could get into whether she's black or not, because, you can look at her family, her parents, they black. The Indians are black. So I'm not even gonna get into that because it don't really even matter. But these Europeans have used our ignorance to work against ourselves, right? Because is more black people on the planet Earth than any other people. We outnumber the Chinese. But once we separate ourselves, I'm a black American, he's Jamaican, he's Haitian, he's Dominican, they Cuban, they Nigerian, they Guyanese, or if they Ghanaian, or right. So that's where we lose the numbers. Of course, there's no America bigger than Ghana. America bigger than Nigeria, and that's by design. They created a system that's going to be attractive to everybody around the world who want money. So the Guyanese come to America, and but they want to live like the American way, and they're giving up their customs. And the people that stand over there and living in customs, they're actually having a better life. So they have the one of the biggest armies in the world, only probably second to Russia, because there's more people in Russia. Russia is huge. Russia. This is pre-Ukraine, but pre-Ukraine, 90% of Caucasians were in Russia. Like if you look at the UK is the size of Massachusetts. France is the size of Texas. So all of that area of Europe, what they call West Europe, they can fit in America a few times, and they can fit into Africa several times. But these are the Western bloc of Europe. They are the ones that's ruling the world through economics. So now like I said, they got now every nationality fighting to get America and live that life because they want to live the American dream. But the American dream is the black man's nightmare. The black man is the white person's fear, because we are the original people. We are God, and their way of life is devilish. So a black man standing up just to live a righteous life is going to be an impediment to their survival, because they're here to dominate. And they're here to dominate so that Allah can show his powers by destroying their way of life. And it's going to be destroyed. It's being destroyed. It's being dismantled. I call it a car that ran out of gas. You're flying down the highway. You run out of gas on the highway. The gas is going, the engine off, but it's still coasting. You know what I'm saying? It's just coasting. And people, think that, it's the greatest country that ever lived. And it's the greatest country that ever lived for pedophiles, for sexual deviants, for people who want to have sex, get pregnant and kill their baby. That's what it's good for. But for a righteous person who wants to walk barefoot, live a natural way of life, grow their own food, drink fresh water that doesn't have chemicals in it, don't have to go through the system, that's anti-American. And that's how the black man want to live. Black men are not leaving America because, for no other reason but a better life. The American dream is a black man's nightmare. We want happiness. We not leaving America because of the pussy. We leaving America for the peace. That's why I'm here. If you're a strong man, you're going to get pussy. You're going to have, women going to find you sexy. Especially if you rebellious or they say you bad guy and this and that. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say that that's what Bob Marley talking about in his song "Get Up, Stand Up." You're talking about get up, stand up, fight for your right. Don't give up the fight. And the fight is to live in happiness here on earth now. That's the most important thing. Nobody ever came back from the dead and had a conversation with you, maybe in your dreams, but we get nothing from our dreams. A black man, a black person has never, ever came back to life. No white man, no human. So they've been mined. It's like what Puff used to always say. They be mined. Excuse me, but that's how I used to say it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they being disrespectful, and they want to destroy our mind so that we're beasts of burden. We out here busting our behind for Italian clothes and European clothes, making them rich, buying their fancy cars, and there's people from our neighborhood that's starving. Cats is walking around with $100,000 chains on their neck. This and that. I mean, a lot of it be fake, but we as black people, like we could take everybody out of poverty if we thought about one another. But we've become like them, tribal. This is my tribe. But not even tribal, clannish. This is my clan. That's how the European the British is a clan, and the Irish is a clan. They all come from Russia. You know what I'm saying? And they get forced out because they can't get along with the leadership of this clan. And they start warring and stealing and cheating and living devilish because they cave people. They had lost knowledge of self. They were black people that drifted. So that's how they've been running the world for 6,000 years, because they had superior knowledge than us. But now, through the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, it's not empirical. Allah came himself to teach Elijah Muhammad. So it's not like Elijah Muhammad had to read a book that was written by a white man. And that's the problem that we got with a lot of our historians and what they call black leaders. Their thoughts, predictions, and premises are based on European imperial information. And the teaching of Honorable Elijah Muhammad is not. It's from Allah. So it's a whole different realm of thinking that we had. So that's why I was saying, getting back to the greatest black men that have come out of America is the ones that have come out of the nation, whether it be the 5% nation or the Nation of Islam. But it's all, as far how I see it, all the nation. It's the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? I don't have one loyalty to one over the other. I'm about unifying. Because like I said, as long as we say, we East Coast, they West Coast, they winning. We got to be one people. Then once we become one people, we got to unify with Jamaica. And we got to unify the Haitian. Whereas you're not Jamaican, you're not Haitian, you're a black man. Who named Jamaica, Jamaica? Who named Haiti, Haiti? Who named Dominican Republic, Dominican Republic? Who named Africa, Africa? Because we know Africa wasn't named Africa. Planet Earth was called Asia. Until the separation of the moon. But that's a whole nother story. I'm keeping it, milk for the babies right now. So we have to accept our own. And we have to do for self. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save our own selves and create our own communities. And if you're doing that, great. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then try to help yourself. Because once you help yourself, you will be able to help others. And it's not a competition, right? Competition is a female trait. That's why I don't even watch the NBA no more. I watch the WNBA because, for one, the women that's playing basketball now, they're more feminine. They're not like butch. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see a tomboy playing basketball. So I love watching it, but it's like I always like women's sports because they're more competitive than men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a man could be stopped mentally. He could be like, you know what I mean, like you know, punk, you know what I mean, whatever. He gonna submit. Man, a lot of these women, they not gonna submit. They gonna keep on fighting until they, you know, be laying on the ground and they still try to spit. You know what I'm saying? The competition, all of that competitive stuff is female, man. All of that pride and all of that, that's devilishment. There's no place more prideful than being in America. They saying they the greatest country in the world. That's what Elizabeth Cheney said lately. The greatest nation on the earth. And by whose standards? Not by God's standards. So anyway, we gotta accept ourselves and do for self. Sick and tired of the ism game, Lord. What Peter Tosh said? We're sick and tired of the ism schism game. Die, go to heaven in Jesus' name. We know and we understand Almighty God is a living man. So you have to manifest God. That don't mean that, you just like the greatest thing and you can just touch somebody and they're going to become resurrected. No, it means that you are responsible for yourself. You are a black man. You are the supreme being. And so that goes into the next subject of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because knowledge, wisdom, understanding, when we talked about in the last video, the knowledge, the one represents the black man. Wisdom, the two, the manifestation of knowledge, represents the black woman. And three is the understanding. It's the best part because it's the black child. Alright? So what happens is we will have to look at it through a universal way because this is the mold that Allah, God, created, our Creator, created the universe. We come from one atom. We come from one atom, A-T-O-M. And the Europeans tricked it and say Adam. We come from one atom. Allah is self-created. Comes from one atom. And that atom, the original atom, was only an electron and a proton. Then he created within himself the neutron to give it the balance, the all. Then he split into two. Right? You heard him split that. Let's split the one atom into two. One was the male, one was the female. That's how the universe was started. That's how it began. But over trillions of years and thinking, that's where it gets into in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. In Hebrew, that breaks down to in the mind, right? Because in the beginning it talks about creation. Genesis 1 talks about creation. Genesis 2 talks about forming the earth. So, like I said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. That means in the mind, in the wisdom. That's how God created the earth. He created it in his mind first. Like I said, scientists look, listen, and observe. It's a process. And even in Kabbalah, it talks about the process of pure will, pure thought, intellect. Right? So these are the three phases of first we got will. Right? Once we got the will to do something, then we got to use thought to make it manifest. And then we use the thought. Then we have to use the intellect. Because the pure thought is like, okay, now thinking it without rationalizing. But now we use the intellect with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like planning, discipline. Intellect is discipline, right? Even when they talk about schools, it's different discipline. So we had to go through those phases, which is the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding. Right? Yo, it's crazy. But anyway, so throughout the trillions of years, it took time to create the sun, the earth, the different planets, right? So the sun came first. The sun is the center of the universe, right? And the sun is symbolic to the black man. The sun represents the black man, the center of the universe, the center of the home. A man has to be the center of the home. I know it sounds crazy, but if the man is not the center of the home, there's something missing. It's going to be dysfunctional. And that's why America's so messed up right now. Because they have taken the man, especially the black man, out the home. Like, nobody want to deal with them chicks, man. Nobody want to deal with them chicks. Everybody, black American women, nobody want. You know, don't get me wrong, there's some good women out there. Trust me, some good women out there. But it's like they're different. You know what I'm saying? They're different in America, especially if they've been educated in you know what I mean, like in the system. Now it's like it showed in election. Like there's a divide between the college educated and the people that's not college educated. The people that's not college educated actually have an advantage because of an advantage over the college educated, because the college educated, they've been taught a whole bunch of bullshit, and it's all imperial information. It's all things that's been okay by the white man to say, okay, you can teach this. And it always comes from a white origin. And the teaching of Elijah Muhammad comes from the law. So it doesn't have a European origin or European bias or European standard. This is the standard of the law. When I say law means God in Arabic. So that's all I'm saying, from God, our Creator. He who created us. And we are children of God. Was it? I think it's Romans 36 or 38. I'm gonna put it on the, you know what I mean, on the side. Talking about we the children of God. We God children. So that's who we are. We have the potential to use our mind to think, to create it in our mind, and then, like in Genesis 2, we form it into reality. Bring it forth. Start working towards it, making our knowledge wisdom. And the wisdom is the black woman. She's the earth. The earth cannot survive without the sun, who is the black man. I got a little thing so that the wind don't blow on the mic. You don't hear that wind no more if you notice in the videos. But now it's a windy day and they want to collapse on me. But the sun represents the black man, and I'm going to show you in Egypt, on the ancient Egypt statues of Imhotep, and it's showing a black woman holding a black child, where they got the story of Mary and Jesus from, and then she got like a sundial on her head. That represents that's the whole family. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The black man is one. So if he's not number one in your house is dysfunctional. The black man is the center of the universe, the center of the home. So if we chasing women, we out of orbit. Imagine if the sun chased the earth and followed the earth. It's not going to work. She's not going to respect it, and it's going to collapse. That whole universe is going to collapse. The man is the center of the universe. The black man, the sun, is the center of the universe. And then the earth represents the woman, because the earth is capable of sustaining life. Right? The sun is the giver of life. The earth is the sustainer of life. It represents the woman. It goes through the cycles, the seasons. Every 28 days. The earth represents the woman. The earth what? Gives birth to children. That's what the black babies is born. So, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding represents the human family. And I'm saying black because we are the original people. And so, the earth, the universe is correcting itself. And the things that we used to do are the things that we are going to have to figure out and start doing them again. And when we start doing that again, that's going to cause the whole society that we've been brought up to to collapse. But there's one important thing that I always remember, that this system is based on a pyramid, right? So the pyramid always has a cap. What is it, capstone? That's the one stone on top, and then two underneath it, and three underneath it, and then it goes down, right? So the top of the pyramid represents the 5%, right? In business, they teach you this. Everything is a pyramid, right? You got top management, which is the 5%, middle management, which is the 10%, and then the employees, which is the 85 usually percent of the team, the workers. It talks about that in Exodus, where Moses was taught to have 5 looking over the 5,000, the 5,000 looking over 50,000. I'm gonna put those scriptures up here too, because they don't come off the top of my head, so I'm get those in order. But my whole thing is that there has to be an order of things. There's nothing just floating around random in space. You know what I'm saying? So everything can be calculated, everything can be numbered, everything can be weighed, everything can be measured. But the thing is that before it was created, it was measured, weighed. So that's what we have to move forward with. We're going to have to measure, weigh, and build a successful way of life. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy because, this is like a little bit more than milk on this episode. But it's getting real because, we had the election last week and, people was happy. Okay, now that Trump won, it's like the people who voted for Trump is like, yo, wait, okay, all right. I know, I wanted Trump to win, so okay, now what's next? And they biting their nails like, yo, I just hope this shit work out and this and that. You know what I mean? But yo, white man time is up. And it might get comfortable for a little while, and I hope it do get comfortable for a little while. You know what I mean? Give us more time to prepare, because we need to be growing our own food, sewing our own clothes, mending our own clothes, conserving money, dealing with liabilities and assets. Fill up on assets, get rid of all liabilities, because we're gonna need cash flow. You know what I mean? It's gonna be crazy. Things are gonna get so extremely high that it's going, people are gonna be suffering. So if we can grow our own food, teach our own kids, make our own clothes, and be responsible for food, clothing, and shelter, and get rid of the competition and the pride, and want for my brother what I want for myself, then those people are going to be okay. The black people that's going to unite, Africa uniting already. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us we would self-correct if the white man would leave us alone. So the thing is that the black man is the center of the universe. The black man can go anywhere in the world. But the thing is that niggas is scared. Niggas are scared to leave. Niggas are scared to give up their Western way of life. But the black man ain't. The black man is exploring the world, making friendships all over the world. I'm an example of that. And you heard about the passport, bro. I don't consider myself a passport, bro, because I'm not, out here. It's not about the pussy for me. It's about the peace. You know what I'm saying? But, I found the pussy. I found the peace. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I have a son now. He's 13 years old. He was born here in Jamaica. And so that's my biggest reason, is like keeping him near his mom, so that he got the, he got the, a strong family unit, based on love and respect. And it's not, exactly perfectly how I planned it, because, I was raised in, like in the same house with my mother and father. You know what I mean? But we make it work, we make it work. I homeschool my son. We homeschool, our child. We teach him. His mom taught him how to read. I taught him mathematics, how to add. And of course, the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. Because, I feel safer with him growing here than over in America. We've been conditioned to think that America is the greatest country, but like I said, it's for thieves, con artists. It's a great country. But for someone who wants to live a good life with clean water, don't want to have to go to the doctor, except for, like certain, if somebody needs stitches or something like that, but not because we eating from Pathmark and Whole Foods, and the food is all imported and it got all types of chemicals on it, and it's killing us slowly, and it's like no sunlight, so we spiritually dead and all that. Man, listen, I tell black people, get your passport and go see other places in the world. You might want to stay there. You know what I'm saying? It might be better for you. There's no more violent place in the world on this planet than America, and this is the place that they saying is the greatest. Man, listen, I grew up in the States, and I'm glad. I feel fortunate that I made it to 56, but I know that my son has a greater chance of living a long, productive life. And I always tell cats, it's like he could go to America at any time, because, he's an American citizen. But only people want to go to America because people who want to make money. That's it. And it's like, yo, if you chase money, you'll never have enough. But if you chase happiness, you'll always have enough happiness and enough money. So we got to be God. We got to manifest God within our lives. That means to think, to create something, to create a successful way of life. And how you do that? By thinking. And once you think about it and plan it and do the science and knowledge and all of that, then you start working towards it in the physical world. And the universe is going to come together to make your dreams come true. But nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong. If you think that you're going to die and go to heaven and this and that, then everything in your mind is going to justify that. It's just that it's not based on mathematics. So, yeah, you might think oh, I won the lottery, this must be God. Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, living a long life manifests God. And too many of our people are waiting to go to heaven, or waiting for a new system, or waiting for all of these things where we have to make heaven home. And the worst hell that a man can go through is hell in the home. That's why black men are leaving and don't want to be bothered with that American way of life, because the white man's dream, American dream, is a black man's nightmare. I'm going to leave it there. But I just wanted to add on about the grill. I'm over in Westmoreland, Jamaica, and like people be coming here staying on the resorts and this and that. Yo, that's yo, you're so westernized. You gotta come out the resort. Come to the grill. Come to the grill. The grill is like Virginia Beach. 7 miles of beach. You can come get a room, walk out on the sidewalk, up and down, or you can go to the beach and walk on the beach, up and down. Times Square, the place I always tell people to check out is Cayuba in the grill. My family, that's the place that my family, when they come to the grill, they usually rent an Airbnb, and we stay a day or two in the grill, but sometimes we stay a week or two in the grill. But they always rent a house. So you rent an Airbnb or you come in the grill, then you're gonna be able to make friends, lifelong friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like going down south and you meet somebody and be like, damn, you know what I mean? I got a friend in North Carolina now. Same thing in Jamaica. Yo, these are people. They love us. There's some people that hate black Americans, trust me. But I thrive on hate. You know what I mean? I feel more comfortable in hate than I do the love. You know what I'm saying? Because I can count on the hate always being there. But sometimes the motherfuckers act like they love you, the cat that act they love you, they hate you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you can't count on love, but you can count on the hate. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the hate, it turns into respect. When people think that you something else, and then they find out who you really are, they be like, oh, okay, I don't like that nigga, but it's alright. I respect him. You know what I'm saying? And that go to the knowledge. Respect is number one. Nothing in the lesson talk about somebody loving you. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be respectful, and the respect is two ways. It's respect and being respectable. So it's respectful and respectable. You have to be respectable to get respect, and you can't force somebody to respect you. So I'm gonna leave it there. But come check out the grill. Get off the resort. Meet some black people. Not like if you in a resort and the person is a bartender, he got to be nice to you. You understand what I'm saying? Go on the street, meet some people. You know what I'm saying? Who don't owe you nothing, don't want nothing from you. Because, believe it or not, most Jamaicans don't want to come to America. They think it's Babylon. They just want to come to visit. That's it. That's it. And I know mad cats that went over there to work and they're like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. It's the niggas that's stuck. Niggas is stuck in America. Black people leaving, going back to their country because the world no. Yo, open your eyes, open your mind, get a passport, jump on it, and not so you can floss and be telling people what to do and feeling like a boss and staring at your camera and all of that bullshit. Come out and meet some people, have some fun, spend some money. You spend some money with the black people here to come back. I'm gonna close with that. But one thing I want to talk about is my website real quick. Yo, my website is a one-stop shop because, you know, how I'm coming, I'm really surprised YouTube, you know, don't block it, but, you know what I mean, it's, you know, I don't do no advertising. I was just really doing this to show my team, you know what I mean, an example of getting out of your comfort zone, you know what I'm saying? But, yo, the number, I never expected these numbers. Like, I got 2,000 something views on the last video. We like, yo, we, you know, 100 and something subscribers. I appreciate all of y'all. Word is born. I love the hate too. You know what I'm saying? I love the bad comments, the good comments. You know what I'm saying? I love it all. You know what I mean? And so, like my website, you know, my website is like, I got the website so that I could be unadulterated. So if anything, because like Facebook, Instagram, they be like, they shadow ban me. I was getting like, you know, 50 something, 100 something, you know, likes, you know what I mean? I started talking to certain, you know what I mean, posts and stuff. They shut me down. Well, I'm not getting no, you know what I mean, no, I'm getting like five accounts reached. So I know, you know what I mean, you already know the math for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So the website is for cats who want the unadulterated truth, the naked truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm providing. So I don't have to, like, on my website, it's unedited. Even on this YouTube, I got certain things I can't say, certain things I don't even want to get into because I don't, you know what I'm saying? But my website is raw dog. And it's not for profit. Meaning, like, yo, if you can afford it, buy it, download or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't, yo, everything is free. You know what I mean? Like with the music, it's gonna say pick your price. So if you don't have no money, you can still download the music because it's the thing is, the music that I do is to help the mind, the soul, and it's EQ'd at frequencies that's gonna tap right here and tap right here. You know what I'm saying? Now with that going, it's gonna get your chakra going. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get your heart going and all of that. On top of it has a positive message. You know what I'm saying? God, you know, like I said, my records, like I do records with anybody. You know what I mean? As long as, you know, really anybody. I don't question, you know what I mean, what they talking about. But the things that I put out as far as me, you know what I mean, as an artist, you know, it's always going to be talking about God or, you know, helping or, you know what I mean, something like that. Like, you know, black love, accepting ourselves and this and that. So go to the website, check out, you know what I mean, songs, download it, put it in your station if you can afford to, you know, pay something. But if you can't, get it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's here for you. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if you can afford it, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, alright, yo, pay $2 for it. Make up for the person that don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that we have to, you know, support people that are doing what we do because without it, it's nothing positive at all. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing positive. All right. Yeah, so check out the PayPal as usual. You know what I mean? Thanks for the love for the last week, and it's not even no more about buying me a smoothie because I don't need nobody to buy me a smoothie. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you donate or whatever is gonna either go to the channel or a business that's gonna help other people. Because the thing is, with success comes the team being bigger. The more people that's part of the team that we can pay to do things, the more black people that is eating. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about me. I'm eating. I'm going to eat. Allah is the greatest provider. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, these platforms is for an example. Other people like, yo, you don't gotta put on fancy clothes. I don't wear no shirt because I don't want to have to be like, yo, this nigga got the same shirt on last week. Man, it's not about that, yo. I don't play them games. I don't care what you think of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm God. You understand what I'm saying? I know who God is. And don't be telling it's not like I said before, it's not my understanding of God, it's not your understanding of God. If you believe that there's only one man who died, who was murdered, and then came back, and yo, man, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? This is for the people who is different. You know what I'm saying? This for the people that's leaders and love other black people and want to hear different points of views. All right. So getting back to the website, you click everything free. You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, when you scroll down, when you go to the home page and you scroll down, above my name, you'll see what is it? Acrobat. Your PDF file sign. Click on that, and you can get a copy of the Supreme Mathematics. All right, because I'm gonna be building on the Supreme Mathematics. Because I would love to give you just download all the math. You know what I'm saying? But the 5% nation. I don't even want to hear mouth. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't even hear. I don't want to hear God's mouth and doing it wrong and this and that. But definitely you can start with the Supreme Mathematics. Everybody needs to get that. Download that. Just click the numbers. Click the A, the acrobatic sign, and it's gonna set up for you to download it. Just download it, read it. You know what I'm saying? Study it. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comment section or the chat. You know what I'm saying? The chat is, I respond to the chat. You know what I mean? There's a chat button. I think it says let's chat. Let's chat. All right, God. Good talking to you. Appreciate this time. I know this was a little, a little bit more serious, but, it's a serious time now, especially with, what's going on in America. America is the army for the bankers, and the whole banking system is collapsing, and everything boils down to food, clothing, and shelter. So I appreciate everybody for their time and their space. Love, peace, and happiness. P-Funk City G.
Because they're not the same. They're not the same. Your nature's not the same as his. We keep pretending that they're human and have the natural feelings of sympathy and everything. They don't have none of that. It's not in them. You have it in you. Nobody never saved nobody but you. And you have been beat down so discouraged that it's very difficult. But I want you to know that you will be the winner. You are the original man. God didn't make everybody and then make you. He made you first. And everybody was modeled after you on some level. That's real talk. That ain't to soothe your ego. These are actual facts that if we could get our men to understand and accept, and I know it don't look like it now. I know some of the gods in the gutter. I know some of them in prison. Some of them on drugs. Some of them out here acting ignorant. Some of them pretending to be a woman. But that does not change the foundation of who you are and who made you.
P Funk City G.